Good morning, America. Today is Tuesday, November the 14th. It is 11:01 a.m. I'm going to start off, since we're not reading a Proverbs this morning, I'm going to start off with a wise saying. And it is coming from 2 Timothy 4:18. 2 Timothy 4:18. It says, "The Lord shall deliver me from every evil work, and will preserve me unto his heavenly kingdom." The Lord will deliver me from every evil work and will preserve me unto his heavenly kingdom. 2 Timothy 4:18. The back of it says, it's coming from 1 Peter 3:12. And that says, "For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayer." Again, "For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers." That is 1 Peter 3:12. All right. We're at the tail end of this topic of obedience, submission to authority. And we are in section E, which is the tail end of it. We are going to talk about those individuals in the biblical time that were extremely obedient to the Word of God. Unfortunately, we cannot use many of today's people. There are some, but not as many as there were when the world was young, and the world had predominantly one God, and the world was closer to God. We are so far away from him now. We are as far away from God as the sun is from the earth. That is how far we have gone away from God. And this is why you don't see the fear of God anymore. And this is why the people don't behave themselves in a way that would be evidence that God is nigh unto them. If God is your God and you truly believe in him, you will not be concerned about that which is going on in the world coming nigh unto you. You would not be a church leader that would require a guard to protect you, because God is the greatest protector of all times. And if you are among his servants and he has given you one of his houses to manage, then of course he is going to be your protector, and you don't have to be concerned about evil coming nigh unto you while you worship the Lord. But if you do not really believe in God, or wholly as we should, then you will feel that you have a need of human protection, which is vain. This is very sad. It's very disheartening. The God that we serve today is the same God, America. The same God. He does not change for anyone. He is the same God yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Whatever he was able to do in the biblical times, he can do it today. So we do not need to be concerned about our safety if we are among his people. We do not need to have guards. We do not need to be overly anxious about anything. That is what the word says. So when you feel that you need to have a guard there, you just open up the door for the devil to come into to the Lord's sanctuary and do what he pleases. And if you have a guard there and you advertise it, Lord God, You make yourself a target. Period. Okay. So we need to trust God because He is who He is. He is the mighty God of Israel. He knows all of His people on this earth that belongs to Him, and He will watch over thee. He will preserve thee, as it said in that wise saying. He will protect you. You have no need for a guard. Okay. We're going to continue with section E, and we're going to be giving you examples of those that were obedient unto the word of God. Regardless of what it is that God was telling them to do, they were obedient enough to do it. And because they were obedient, they reaped the reward of it. Today, the first person we're going to be talking about is Noah. And he is in the beginning of the Bible. He is in the book of Genesis, chapter 6. We will then read about Abraham. He is also in Genesis, chapter 12. We're going to read about the people of God, the Israelites, in Exodus 12. We're going to read about Salem and Joshua in Numbers 32. We're going to read about David in Psalms 119. We're going to read about Asa in 1 Kings, Elijah in 1 Kings also, Joshua in 2 Kings, Hezekiah in 2 Kings, Zerubbabel and Hagan, Christ, his beloved Son, his sacrificial lamb in Romans. Paul, we'll read about him in Acts, and all Christians in Philippians. Okay, so let's start with Noah in Genesis 6. All right. Genesis 6 is a 22-verse chapter. It has yellow for family. It has gold for prophecy. Many of the prophecies in this Bible pertains to that which is going on today. To the letter. To the letter, America. It has black, which is for sin, blue for salvation, red for discipleship. It has a significant amount of olive, which is for commandments, and we have also half of the verse is in uppercase lettering, emphasizing the importance of it, of that particular chapter and what it's saying to us in that chapter. And those are all the colors that we will find in these 22 verses of Genesis 6. And we're reading about the man Noah. And during the time of Noah, during the time, you don't need an introduction. I remember reading the themes to you. During the time of Noah, as it is today, there was much wickedness upon the land. But that was a different era. It was when the world was young. We didn't have science. We didn't have modern technology. We didn't have all the things that contribute to the sinning of the nation. Okay, many of these things are good. Science is good when it comes out with a cure for something that helps mankind. Science is good when it takes a child who has been born with a clipped lip and they repair it. Science is good when it can take a mask from a person's face and bring it down to a size where it makes the person look better. Science is good when it does that which is good for mankind. But when science begins to tamper with that which the Lord has made, that is when it becomes wicked. And that's when the world begins to sin more and more, because once you have one person doing that thing, you have two, then you have many doing the same wicked thing. Okay, the judges are wicked today. The politicians are untrustworthy today. It's just a more wicked world today. All that is evil, the world embraces, accepts, and protects. All of that is sinning against the God that we serve. Okay, we are polluting his world by the things that we allow to occur here on this earth. This is not our earth. This belongs to God. Okay, he gave it to us. This is the only place where human may live and not die. Mars is not one of them. Jupiter is not one of them. All of those other planets are not made for humans to live on. The earth is the only one. Okay, so we have no business being concerned or spending thousands of dollars to get up to the Milky Way and see what's up there, because you never know when you will go up there and bring something down here that will cause great harm to humans. That's another story. But anyway, today we're going to be reading about the wickedness of man grieves God. If it grieved God in the biblical time, can you just imagine how much more it grieves him now? Can you just imagine? Okay? So the wickedness of man grieves God, and righteous Noah is commanded to build the ark. Now, during this time that he is putting this ark together, he is mocked ungodly. Ungodly. He is mocked every step of the way. Even while he is loading the animals upon the ark, he receives a lot of teasing and mockery. Okay, but in the end, it is Noah and those that are upon that ark with him that survive the drastic flood that the Lord put upon this earth. Now, he promised us that he would not do that again. But he didn't make any other promises of how he could destroy us with his other elements. He could bring upon extreme wickedness upon the land because we are being extremely disrespectful to him. Okay. As I said to you, America, what you see going on in this world is only going to get worse before it gets better. And when it starts to get better, all of these laws that we have enacted will have to be repealed. Period. You will have to repeal them. Period. Okay, you will have to have a national fasting month. Period. And all of these other meaningless celebrations that God hates, you will have to do away with them. Okay, it will be a drastic change, but before that drastic change comes, there will be a terrible price to pay for the sins of this nation. So we're going to use these biblical individuals as example of what obedience looks like, what it sounds like, and what we should be demonstrating and showing, okay, to God for his goodness, his grace, his mercy, his protection. All right, so let's begin. I will be reading it from both my Rainbow Bible as well as from the New King James Bible as the colors change. You should be used to this by now. All right. The wickedness of man grieves God. Righteous Noah is commanded to build the ark. All right. And it came to pass when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, too, still yellow for family, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. All right, let's go to here, 1 and 2. Now it came to pass when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them too, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. 3 is the first verse where we have some uppercase lettering in it, and it is gold for prophecy. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man. Absolutely. Prophecy. My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. For that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Okay. That's as far as we can live. There used to be a time where men would live to be 300, 500 years old. That changed with Noah, 120. Okay? All right, let's read 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Okay? That is an uppercase lettering. Already, back in the biblical days, we're paying for the sins that were occurring in the biblical time. Okay? So we can no longer live to be 200 and 300 years old. Okay? Now, we have only a set amount of time here on this earth. All right, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. 4 is yellow for family. There were giants in the land, in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and some became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Let's read it from here. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. We're going to go into some sinning now. Verse 5, 6, 7. 7 has some uppercase lettering in it. 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Great. Okay? This is in a biblical time. The wickedness of man is greatest on the earth now. It is not great. It is greatest. All right? And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continuously. Continuously. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. 6. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, in the same way that he became regretful when he gave the people what they wanted, a king. Everybody else had the king. They had servants and prophets that were judging them. That wasn't good enough. They wanted what everybody else had. So the Lord gave them a king. No soon after he had become the first king of Israel, he had fallen by the wayside with his first assignment. Okay, so you can only imagine how regretful he is today. Women are far away from what they're supposed to be doing. They don't even want to tend to their families anymore. Today they care more about their beast than their spouse. More about their beast than their children. 6. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. 7. And the Lord said, here comes the uppercase lettering. Here it comes. Pay attention. I will destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth, both men and beasts, and the creepy things and the fowls of the air. For it repenteth me that I have made them. He has done it once, and he will do it again. He will surely do it again. But not by water. Okay, he has more than one element he can use. Okay, so let's read it again. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. 6. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I created from the face of the earth, both men and beasts, and the creepy things and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. Those are all uppercase lettering. Let's take it from here. 5. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. 6. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. 7. So the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beasts, creepy things and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. Okay, 8 is blue for salvation. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Out of all the people on the earth, he found one fella. One. Out of all the citizens of Sodom and Gomorrah, how many did he find? He found 4. There was supposed to be 6, but there was only 4. 2 of them decided that they liked what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, and they stayed and lost their lives. Meteorites have always been around. That city was destroyed by meteorites. All right? So, 1, out of all the inhabitants of the world, how many do you think he will spare today? How many? Would you be among them? The wicked would not be among them. Only those that have a genuine fear for God will be among them. Period. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. The next section here says Noah pleases God. There's not that many of us today that please God. I have done over 150 tapings. And I occasionally look to see if the people on the earth are trying to come closer to God. A false prophet will get many views. Anybody who's going through something in life will get thousands of views. A child doing something silly will get many views, but what they really should be looking at, they have no desire at all. At all. And this is why I know there will be few. But you cannot say, America, you cannot say that he had nobody out there warning you. You cannot say this. You are so busy listening and looking at the wrong things that which you should have been looking at, you ignored. So when things happen on the news and I see it, I no longer feel nothing. I feel nothing. Because as far as I'm concerned, the evil that this world has done against God is greatest of all times. And they continue and continue and continue, continuously, as it says in the book. Nine. Read for discipleship. These are the generation of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with God. Okay. 8 and 9. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. 9. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a just man, perfect in his generation. Noah walked with God. What does it mean when you walk with God? It means that you pay attention to his ways. It means that you are obedient. To his laws, his commandments, his sanctions. It means that you consider how God will view that which you have done. It means that you care and love him dearly. 10 is yellow for family. And Noah begot 3 sons, Sem, Ham, and Japheth. 10. And Noah begot 3 sons, Sem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay. 11, 12, and 13 is black again. We got some uppercase lettering in 13. And the earth was corrupted before God, and the earth was filled with violence. It was filled with violence. As it is today, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, America. The violence will only increase. The earth was corrupted before God, and the earth was filled with violence. 12. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Here comes the uppercase lettering. And God said unto Noah, here comes the uppercase lettering. The end of all flesh is come before me. For the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. I'll read that again, all 3 verses. And the earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. Sons beheading their parents was unthinkable. Innocent people going to jail. The guilty are set free. Judges are corrupt. Priests and servants of God are doing the unthinkable in his household. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the uppercase, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Let's take it from here. The earth The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. 12. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. The ark prepared. 13. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. 14 to 16 is Aleph for commandments. All uppercase lettering. All 3 verses. Make thee an ark of gohert wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pit it within and without with pits. Make thee an ark of gohert wood. Room shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pit it within and without with pitch. 15. Still uppercase, still Aleph. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make of it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. He told them to make it. He told them how to make it, how wide, how tall, how many rooms. Every bit of those instructions given unto this righteous man was done accordingly. He told them what kind of wood to use, and he did step by step according to the instructions given unto him. That's an obedient servant. (16) Still Aleph, still uppercase. A window shalt thou make to the ark, a window. 1. And in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, and the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories thou shalt make. He told them how many windows, how many floors, how many doors, where to put the door on the ark. He gave them step-by-step instructions on this lifeboat. That man cannot even reproduce one that can take all that this ark withstood. This ark was made of wood. In the biblical time, by the hand of man. And it had beasts in there, large and small. And it sustained them. Did we not read that the Lord will preserve thee? Is that what it said here? It's exactly what it says here. The Lord shall deliver me from every evil work, and will preserve me unto his heavenly kingdom. And if he will preserve Noah in the biblical time, what makes you think that he is unable to preserve thee here among the wicked? All right, let's take it from here. 14 to 16. The ark prepared. I'm going to start with 13. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. 14. Make yourself an ark of gohert wood. Make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and outside with pit. 15. And this is how you should make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. 16. You shall make a window for the ark, and you should finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it with lower, second, and third decks. Okay? He did it to the letter. to the letter. 17, still uppercase and gold for prophecy. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. I'll read that again. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. 18, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy son's wife with thee. Those were the only ones spared. The only ones. 17 and 18. Oh, Father God. And behold, I myself am bringing flood waters on the earth to destroy from under heaven all flesh, in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. 18, but I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. 19, 20, and 21, all uppercase lettering again, and all I love for commandments. And of every living thing of all flesh, and of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. 2 of everything, male and female. 20, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creepy thing of the earth after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come into thee, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them being the animals. All right, 19 to 21. And of every living thing of all flesh you should bring 2 of every sort into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They should be male and female. 20. Of the birds after their kind, of animals after their kind, and of every creepy thing of the earth after its kind, 2 of every kind will come to you, to keep them. 2 of every kind will come to you. He didn't have to go out there and chase these animals down. They came to him. 2 of every kind. He didn't have to find not one of them. Each one showed up at that door, 2 of every kind, a male and a female. It says here, 20, of the birds after their kind, of animals after their kind, and of every creepy thing of the earth after its kind, 2 of every kind will come to you to keep them alive. That's the mighty hand of God. We ought to be fearful of this mighty entity. But no. What are we fearing? Nothing at all. Nothing. All right. 22 is the last verse. and it is read for discipleship. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him, so he did. According means just like he was told to do it. He did it exactly as it was given to him. Okay? 22. Thus Noah did according to all that God commanded him, so he did. Okay. The Lord is putting it in the spirit of the people. And this is why they are doing certain things. He is putting it in their spirit, and they are doing it according to the way he is putting it in their spirit. Okay? Because when it comes down to it, these leaders that you vote so hard to get, they have a place to go. When it is time to go underground, they have a place to go. Every president, every leader, every judge, anybody who is of significance on this earth will be among those that are occupied in these hidden environments underground. They will not be able to take most of those that are upon the earth. And if you think discrimination will not be seen on that day, yes, it will be. In the same way, 2 of every kind will be taken. 2, a male and a female, will be allowed in. Not 2 males who are married, not 2 females that are married, not a transvestite, absolutely none of them will be among that crew. Did you hear me? In the same way that God directed every animal to the door of that ark, he will direct all of his people to be saved and among those that are underground. And as I say, there will be a man and a woman. Discrimination will be in your face. Because he will save his own. Those that are among the wicked on the land, you will perish. So enjoy your life while you can. Because upon that day, you will not be among the ones spared. You could say you heard it on Spiritual Water. Okay. That was the first man of the biblical time. We will learn from each one of these individuals. And what we learn from them, we will apply it to our lives. And we will understand that God is the same God that split the sea. He is the same God that led the people, over 3 million people, out of Egypt. He sustained them. He guided them. He protected them. And that same God upon that day will do the same for his people. Do you understand? So if you are among his people, you have nothing to worry about. But the wicked of the land, that's one day with the heat of discrimination you will certainly feel. It will be like a slap in your face. Period. Thank you very much for listening to Spiritual Water. My name is Brenda Guerrero. And as always, may the peace of God be upon thee. May the protection of God surround thee. And may the will of God come from thee. Until the next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.